Hello YouTube, how's everyone going? Tub SB 1556. Langati, good. Hey man, how are you guys going? So today we just landed in the new KvK map. So it's a Heroic Anthem Power Up KvK. So yep, Power Up 50 days, and this is one of those new KvKs where there's a lot to learn. Now I have a farm account where I have gone through Heroic Anthem, but since then a lot has changed. New mechanics has been introduced, and we thought we'd do a stream where we can kind of talk about some of those mechanics and so on. So if you click on the rules on the top right hand corner, then you get to see combat tactics, ranged combat, troop blockade, and all these other things, coalition diplomacy, aggressive rallies. So there's quite a few things that kind of comes in play. And when you're trying to take troops out, there are a few different modes, I guess, how you can take troops out. So we are going to try to explore all of that. But then every single time you land in a new KvK, the first thing you want to check is whether the rewards and the shop kind of changed. So if you look at the coalition rewards, that's probably the most important. It doesn't look like a lot changed. Now I had a brief look. It looks like the standard rewards that you get out of a Heroic Anthem anyways, so there's nothing extra, nothing changed. It's pretty much the same, the coin system and, you know, whatever you get. Individual rewards didn't kind of check. I don't think it changed much, so I'm just again briefly going through. It doesn't look like it changed a lot. Yeah, no, it didn't. It's very similar. You got the extra iconic crystals that you get throughout, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. It changed T4 killing. AK Hans, hey man, show me what you're talking about. T4 killing. I'm going to go through this with you guys together, so if you know something, then point out. What do you mean T4 killing? So it still goes by severely wounded, how many troops you killed of the other camp. Hans, help me out. Like, type a longer sentence where I know what you're talking about. So this one, faith, kill or severely wounded. Oh, now I know which one you're talking about. So guys, you know how when you have a non-fighting sort of KvK and at the end, you kind of do a T1 trade with enemy camps where you help each other. Yep, so that's the one Hans is talking about. So it says you have to get them from T4 or higher. So basically it has to be legit kills, so T4 or higher. So the T1 trade thing doesn't kind of exist anymore. So in a way it's a good thing, as in people that got T4, T5, they had to spend a lot of speed ups, they have to put a lot of effort. So not that I got anything against T1, but then if they get the same reward, then it probably didn't make sense. So yeah, in a way it's all right. B, hey man, how are you going? Can't trade. Yep, that's the summary. So in terms of faith, it looks like T4 and higher is required, but other than that, in terms of the rewards, everything else is pretty much the same. AK Hans, that's a big change in rewards. Yeah, that actually is true. That's a bit of a change. I think for people that were getting 30k naturally in a big fighting KvK, that's not a big deal. But then in terms of this specific KvK, it could be a big deal, and I'll talk about it in a sec. Now, when we're looking at the shop, it looks like the shop is unchanged. So it's not like there's any new items or anything. The prices hasn't changed or anything either. So the shop remains the same. Now, you know how I was saying the T4 kill, didn't kind of think about it before, but this may be a big deal, because if you look at the top right hand corner where you see the camps, so this is going to be top versus bottom. So we are on top left, 1v is bottom left, which I haven't explored yet. So what's gonna happen with that is, because there's Osiris League going on, and when it comes to 1v, extremely highly focused on Osiris League, like they may kind of see this as a one-off fight, as in let's fight for zone 5 and then whoever wins wins, whoever loses loses. So there's a possibility that there may not be a lot of fighting in this KvK because of Osiris League. And you know what that means? That means that we kind of have to get 30k out of Tahiti in this case. So if you don't get your 30k out of Tahiti, I don't know whether you're gonna get 30k. And now it doesn't look like you can get 30k with T1. So if you want to get the maximum rewards for this KvK, how it's kind of going top versus bottom, probably have to get it as soon as possible. Okay, now that being said, I am exploring and we're gonna go into the mechanics, but then let's do something else first. Let's open up all the maps. Let's open all the kingdom maps. You can only do 50 at a time. Okay, well, we'll do 50 at a time. That way the map doesn't look like ugly. So the background at the moment with all the fog stuff kind of looks ugly to me. Like I hate doing fog. I don't know why, but then the daughter loves doing fog, clearing fog. I have no idea why. This is the most annoying thing that I have ever done. But anyways, we'll get it done. Mojojo. Alliance power and kills, please. Yes, that's a very good point. Let me just clear the map and straight away we're going to look at the alliance power and kills and all that in the KvK. Can you show us power rank? Hakim, yes man, definitely we will. So at the end, 1860 don't fight. I mean, 1860 is gonna fight, but to be honest, one of the biggest alliances from 1860 actually migrated to 1556. So in a way, it may be a little unfair to expect like a lot from 1860. So 1860 probably isn't the big fighting force they used to be. I don't think they're gonna be... I mean, at the moment, it doesn't look like they're evenly matched with 1556 or 1034. So as far as I am aware or concerned personally, it's 1556 versus 1034 in zone 5 Tahiti fight, and that's all there is to the KvK. Egli, yeah, everyone knew that 1034 will focus on OL instead of KvK before allies were chosen. That's why I was surprised you guys got an ally. I think, you know how I probably would say I have been a little surprised as well, but then when I was talking to some of the kingdom leaders, the sense that I got is before going into this KvK, the only other kingdom that we talked to was 1148, I think. So in a way, even before the KvK, we knew that they were signing up for this, and I think there was some sort of agreement that if we go in and end up in the same KvK, then we're going to be allies. And for being one of the main diplos, he's really high on his promises. So that's why he kind of went with, now we agreed with it, so we're not going to change anything from there. And then at the same time, I think as much as we talk about OneV being very serious about KvK, I think this time around 1556 wants to have a serious push for OL as well. I mean, we are definitely not as good a team as OneV because we're more of a newer team with newer members. But then I think the target for the kingdom is to kind of push for OL as well. So even from our point of view, it's not a bad deal if the KvK kind of finishes early, I guess. So let's have a look at the power. So alliance power, alliance kill, 1v and 1v. Individual power, obviously you got Baba. Individual kills, you got lethal. But then yeah, that's how big a alliance 1v is. So not necessarily a big kingdom, but definitely a big alliance. It used to be a 1 alliance kingdom. I think it's more like a 2 alliance kingdom now, but there you go. So 1v alliance power is 19.8, so close to 20, whereas the next one from 1556 is 15. So 20 bill versus 15 bill, 5 billion difference. But then this is where the rest of 1556 comes in. 1556 has 6 decent fighting alliances. So there you go. So 2386. So 2386, they're OneV's allies, I mean in the same camp. So they got a decent alliance in there as well. But and then our allies from 1148, they got a decent alliance there as well. The first alliance coming from 1860 is at 12 bill, and that's what we were talking about, how quite a few people migrated out of 1860, so they're probably not as strong as we are used to seeing them, I guess. I also hate fog. Hans, yeah man, it's so annoying. Especially seeing how bad the KDs in your KvK are except 1034. Yes, you're right. I mean, 1148, I think they're decently strong. But then I actually don't know much about the other KDs. But when we looked at the alliance power, it didn't look like too many of them stood out. So I think we definitely got an advantage. But keeping oil in mind, I don't think that's a bad thing, I guess. 56, it ended after the Godfather. Godfather is a big loss. Godfather is, I guess, one of the main icons of 1556. So I hope I mean, all of us, we hope he comes back to play again. It will be new experience KvK with 1556. Yep. So 1556 powered up a lot with all those migrations coming in. So definitely it's going to be a new experience, KvK and OL. Hey, hello, don't forget to thank Lilith for Pakal Herald, easiest way to get 30 mil kills when you don't have RSS. Yeah, definitely. Pakal Herald or Attila Takeda, both of them kind of works. They usually work though when you're in a losing situation. Like, I sincerely hope against OneV we're not going to be in a losing situation, so I don't know how much we can benefit from it, but we'll see. But yeah, in general, yeah, definitely. Eggley, yeah, it will be interesting to see how 1556 does in OL. You guys will do good. Hopefully, I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of players who have played in OL in many different teams, but then we haven't played together a lot. And that's like a scary thing. The fact that we have not played together a lot. And it's scary because, like, I don't know how well we can execute the strategies as much there's a good strategy. So maybe not this OL, but next OL, if all the guys remain in 1556, then we're definitely going to be a very strong team there. Now, one thing that I'm a little bothered by is I can't see NenV. So I used to think NenV, like the NenV is there. So NenV kills wise, there's 16. Where was NenV? NenV is the second big alliance from 1034, right? Wow. Nope. So there's still a one alliance kingdom, 1034. The last time we faced them, it did feel like they're like a 2 alliance kingdom. Let me just double check. Am I missing anything else from 1034? Or is it just 1V? I don't see any 1034. So they got first place and they got second place at 5 bill. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a hard KvK to hit the 30k. It's gonna be very hard to hit the 30k. Carl's, I LADUS, so finally get the best. We get to beat 1v this time. Yes, man. So you obviously know our story. So we faced 1v twice, lost both times. And when I say we faced, I mean the other KDs that I've been in. So as much as they were decent KDs, but they're nothing compared to 1V. So finally, I'm in a kingdom that has more of a power situation than 1V. So 1V, usually they come up with like 120 max tech players. So basically everyone that's in 1V is max tech, and that's impossible to win for a normal KD. So 1556, I think you need one of these bigger KDs to beat 1556. But saying that, 1093 did a good job last KvK. They won against 1V as well. What do you think about new Crystal Tech? Dragon, hey man. So we are going to check out the Crystal Tech. I didn't actually get much of a chance to think about it. The first comment that I'll have about it is it's great that they have the Swarm Tech at the end, because that's a very big whale kind of tech. So I think as we progress through Crystal Tech, we will find out how realistic it is for lower spenders to get to the 7 March situation. I know that they can get to 6 March now, but I don't know about the 7th March, so I guess we will figure out. But then it's good that after the 7th March, they put the Swarm Tech, and that's probably for these people that we're looking at, individual power ranking. So Baba will get there probably by tomorrow. And you got Cookie, Ingboss, Strong. There's quite a few people. I am strong, 1V. Oh man, that guy is strong. Now, power-wise, he's definitely strong, and kills-wise, he's strong as well. So, a very appropriate name. We got our brother 4 here as well. Boogeyman says, my best mate in RoK is there as well. Very proud of him. So, there's like 16 people. That's Baba's son. There's like 16 people over 200 million power individually. Oh my god. Actually, I don't know much about 1148 because in the last KvK, 1556 versus 1254, 1228, who was 1254's ally, had less power but destroyed 1148 very easily. That is very true, Egli, actually. That is very true. But then I think because they, as in 1556, had a relationship with 1148 and they decided to go into the next KvK together as well. That's why the alliance still kind of says. But you're right. I remember what you're talking about now. 1228 did so much better than any other KDs around them. I gave all respect to 1V and other kingdoms, but I think it's the easy win for 56. Yeah, I think it's going to be a easy win. I think it's going to be an easy win. If there was no OL, I think the deploy and everything would have been done differently. And if there was no OL, I'm sure 1V would have put a great fight. Now, like, they still may fight. And obviously, I'm not trying to disrespect or anything. 1V is the reigning OL champion, so I think I'm trying to say it makes sense for them to focus on OL because they're so good at it. So yeah, surely they will focus on it. Now I want to see, where does the 100 million power mark finish on this? Or, oh, I'm 48. Okay, all right. So power ranking, I'm 48. That's all right. So where does 100 finish? There's a lot of big power players there. 100 goes a long way. Gotta scroll down a lot. We're finally getting there. Okay, there's quite a few people on 100. Alright, 282 people with 100 mil plus power. And then you guys obviously got to see the big kind of players there. So let's have a look at the kill side of things. So you got Lethal with 35, you got Baba with 29, Says, my buddy, with 25.5, and Fo is there with 20. You got 1V, can't read his name obviously, but he got 23. Strong is there, 6th as well. So Strong is not only strong with power, he's high on kills as well. Blueberry Lover, I remember this guy. He was OP the last time when we faced him. His 7 marches destroyed my 6 marches in like 2 seconds. That's why I remember him. So how many people over 10 bill kill points? So we got 25 people over 10 bill kill points in the kill ranking. So that's how it kind of looks. So that's probably the main ranking side of things that you want to look at. Maybe achievement points as well. Maybe because that's like a spender thing. So you can see Baba there, obviously. The biggest spender in the game. Strong is very strong in spending as well. He's quite up there. So basically this is like a indicator of who is the biggest spender, because obviously the more you spend, the more likely that you will hit the achievements, because they're usually to do with unlocking commander skins, maxing commanders, whatever. Maybe it's just one. Okay, sorry, I missed some of the chat. There is new Zenith, I think. There could be new Zenith, yes. It's just 1v. Maybe big power player out for oil, Grave. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, so one of the things that I saw 1365 players do during OL is they're going to fight just as much as in open field fighting, but just because how important it is to have enough troops. So before an OL match, some of the 1365 players probably wouldn't, like the bigger ones of the main team, probably wouldn't join rally or garrison just because you don't want to have dead troops. But then in terms of fighting, it's not like they didn't. So we'll see how that goes. Switch players to NANV during KvK, they fight different fronts. Yep, that's true. I want to see 1556 versus 1254 versus 1034 versus 1960. I think the other teams are kind of there. 1960, like maybe you want to replace 1960 with 1846 or 1365, like if you want to make a massive 4 kingdom KvK. Okay, now maybe it's a good time to have a look at the crystal tech side of things, and then we'll talk about the combat tactics and all of that. Is this KvK free for all? Tempest Rock, good question. And I do have them in different colors. That's actually my bad. No, actually it's not free for all. So it's top versus bottom. Guy in third power ranking is Boss Blake, Cookie's 4th account. Oh, wow. Hey man, I don't know why your message got retracted. You may have had a naughty word there. I don't know. Actually, 1556, 1254, 1960 versus 1365 is the better matchup. 1846 doesn't have many quality players, and 1034 have shown as much as 1960 yet. 1860 still alive. Yeah, nah, 1860 probably not still alive. Actually, Ugly, you do have a point. 1960, I mean, you know, they're not bad. All right, now before talking about Crystal Tech, let's talk about where we are up to at the moment. So today is the first day when we landed on the map. So we got the research center to 25, and we did get the crystal mine to 25. In terms of spending, what we have done, and I don't know whether you can see, I don't think you can see because it's hidden by one of the panels. But at the moment, even after getting this to 25 and that to 25, I got exactly 11.1 million crystals. So we can do a lot of training. So let's keep doing the training, and then I'll kind of explain how we got where we got. So obviously, in terms of training, even before we have a look at the rest of the story, we need to max the first few. So we're just going to let the training run, and let's just cover the spending side of things. So when it comes to that thing, Crystal Quest bundle or whatever, I did buy the advanced bundle thing. I think I forgot exactly how much it was. I think for me it was about $22, which means US that would be about $15, I think. Now I don't think it's a good buy for low spenders, but for medium or high spenders, I think it's a good buy. So on this account, I am probably a medium spender, so I definitely did buy that. Other things that we bought. Oh, not here. Well, actually, I forgot where to check it. The crystal supply thing. you know how you have the crystal supply 50% boost to crystal production, so that was $7 for me, so probably $5 US, so definitely did buy that. B, I think 1556 is stronger than 254 after the migration. Possible. I actually haven't checked the 1254 current lineup, so I think I need to log into Chizgul streams more, and then I get a feel of it. Like, I obviously used to watch a lot of Chizgul and other streamers before I started streaming, and then when I started, I kind of, you know, used up my time just doing my thing. But then, yeah, it's probably worthwhile kind of starting to check them again. All right, now spending wise, the other things that we did, as you can see, we went a little bit on the Bounty of Ancients, and it does give you like some what's it called, gold heads and material and whatever. How we got that is by, I didn't buy this bundle, I only bought one of them. I did obviously finish that. Oh, premium crystal supply, yep, so that's the one I was talking about, $5 US. And then I did buy the Conqueror's Will. Now normally I would say if you're a medium to high spender, you should really be buying this at least till the pass opens. Now I may need to go a little bit heavy on spending till pass 4 opens, because as I was saying, the only fight that we may have where we need to get 30 mil is in Tahiti, and even that is subject to 1v actually showing up. There's a chance 1v won't show up for that either. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So those are the spendings, and additionally every single pop-up that kind of came up, so we bought all of that as well, obviously. So the pop-ups are really good value, like really good value. So if you spend anything on the game, you do want to buy the pop-ups. Now let's talk about the tech. Now, I haven't gone through this tech before, but there are a few confusing things there. So treaties and cultural exchange, those two obviously you're gonna do. And then when it comes to some of the requirements, just like before, you need to get 10 out of 10 or 7 out of 10 in many cases for you to get to 6th March. Now, if you are focusing on being a rally leader or garrison leader, then the 6th March is not as important for you. What you want to do is whichever troop type you want to, you know, rally and garrison with, you try to get as high as you can. So for example, for Cav rallies, if you're a Cav rally leader, you want to get as high as you can. And where's the rally one? Let's see if we can find the rally one. So call to arms is your troop capacity. Marching order, rallied army capacity. Yep, so that's one of the things that you want to push as well. TN Viet Q, hey boss, which alliance are you in? So I'm 50s VC 56. Mixmax rank alliances. Yes, we just went through that, man. So if you like go back on the stream like 5 minutes maybe, then you'll see all the ranks. We just went through that just then. So anyways, we were talking about, so you want, if you're a rally garrison leader, you obviously want to get the rally garrison tax. But if you're not, if you're just open field, just like me in 1556, you want to get treaties, cultural exchange, skillful operations, those three just like before. And then you're working towards the 6th March. I don't think up until that point there is a lot of changes, but we'll figure out by tomorrow. So by tomorrow I will progress quite a lot in the tech, and then we'll figure out. And this is one of the new ones that came in, and that's where if you're swarming a structure, or if you're swarming a rally, you get like a lot of damage bonus. But that's after 7th March. So that's the one I was saying. It's mainly for whales. A normal person doesn't go and swarm a building all the time. So this being at the end kind of makes sense, because otherwise, after getting 7 marches, Baba doesn't have a reason to spend. That gives Baba a reason to spend. And I hope that's very expensive, actually. I hope so. But there's nothing that is expensive for Baba, right? Now, the confusing one, the one that I found to be confusing was Karaku gift. And in a way, plunder is confusing as well. Okay, so plunder is where you get defeating barbarians and things, you get more crystal. I don't think we get a lot of crystal, so I think given that I have to get fighting tech very high before pass for open, unless this is like a prerequisite for something, I don't know how much I'm gonna push on plunder. Karaku gift, amount of crystal gained when fighting trial of KvK. So basically, I think how it works is when you defeat Karwak, the special KvK, it's like one of these boosts. You know how you got an 8-hour boost for gathering and production and whatever? So it's like one of those boosts. So you get a little bit, but then at the same time, like I don't know whether it's going to be worth in our situation to focus on this. Because think about it, I'm not thinking about the whole KvK. The only thing that I'm thinking about is how is the fighting going to go after pass 4 opens. So if we had a even KvK with 4 teams fighting and everything, and we knew the fighting was going to go till the last day, then investing in things like plunder and Karaku gift makes sense. But then now I'm not going to do them unless they are prerequisites, because that's to do with, what's it called? That's to do with how our fighting is zone 5 only. So zone 4 is our starting zone, and zone 5 is the only area where we're gonna fight. So what's my plan on crystal tech then? So the plan is, this is the plan. I will do treaties, cultural exchange, skillful operations. After doing these 3, level 1, I'm going to try to see how can I get at least 7 on treaties, cultural exchange, and skillful operations. Now, whatever prerequisite these 3 gives me, I'll obviously do. And then I'm going to focus on call to arms, and whatever prerequisite it gives me, I'm going to try to do. And then I'm going to focus on the 6th March and, work on whatever I need to work on as a prerequisite. Now, last time I was in a normal Heroic Anthem KvK, I did manage to get 6 marches before pass 6. So I don't think Lilith would have made it harder. So I'm pretty sure we can still get to 6 marches before pass 4 open. So when we have a chance to fight 1v, I hope that I'll still have at least 6 marches. Karwak gift is hourly crystal generation in Karwak event page. Yep, so I think it gives you like a boost, hourly boost, I think. But then yeah, when KvK starts, we'll check it out, as in exactly how that function kind of works, right? But then I think you're right. Yeah, it's a hourly boost thing. Okay, now the next thing that we wanted to talk about, and we did cover a bit of it in a video that we did, not on a stream, which is the new commanders. So someone who hasn't tried the power up KvK before, and there is a lot of videos and streams about it already, so we're gonna keep it brief. So you get 2 fully maxed commanders. You get Wafura and you get Torgny. So they come fully maxed level 60 and everything. So all you gotta do is put the talents on there. Now this is the, oh, it's moving too much. So these are the talents that I thought would be good. So they got slightly different talents. So with Torgny, this is what I went with. So the siege side of things going fully, and then these are the other points where I think it'll be kind of good. And then you are going with Wafura as well. Same thing again. All we care about is the talent tree that we have to put in. And that is kind of how it looks like. So go all the way. And then other places where you can probably benefit from putting some points in. Now, one funny thing, you can't put equipment on them. You can put a secondary commander, but you can't put equipment on them. See how with other commanders, you got the equipment thing. With them, no equipment. So it's not like you can put, I was thinking I can put like siege equipment and then maybe it'll be helpful, but it doesn't look like you can. check new commanders in expedition, please. Yep, we can check commanders in expedition as well. So let's go. Good call. Let's go expedition. Let's challenge a normal level, because we are talking about siege. I don't know how well they will do. All right, now let's take the new commanders here. Where are the new commanders? Oh, they're level 60s. So did I go past them already? Or can you not use them in... I don't think you can use them. They're not here. So expedition you can't do with the new commanders. But I got a march back, so I have a march free, so I can... So I'm not missing it, right? Like you can't use the new commanders here. Nope, I don't see them. Okay, so that's okay. We can just bring them out and see how it goes. All right, so bring out. Now we will talk about the combat tactics things in a bit, but let's bring out the new commanders and just have a look at them. So let's bring out this guy and let's bring out siege. And because I don't have all siege, let's see how it works with other sort of commanders as well, other sort of troop types as well. Yeah, okay, so we brought one out. Now let's bring the oops, okay, one at a time. We can only do one at a time. Now did you want to see Barb action animation? So let's see how that goes. So we can do a little bit of Barb. I wish I had 2 marches back. When is... Okay, so we are going to get the second march back in like 40 seconds. So I don't need to bring them back halfway through. I don't think there's much of an animation to look at. Actually, I don't see any animation at all. Do you see an animation? Hey, how come I don't see the secondary animation either? And I'm actually gonna die. So anyways, so there's no animation basically. Now let's try to walk away and let's try to do a siege tower thing and let's see if it lets you do it. No, it doesn't let me. How do I do a siege tower again? Or can I not do a siege tower because I mix troops? You know what? There's a good chance I can't do siege tower because I got mixed troops. All right, let's take it in. Let's take it in and let's bring it out with siege only and let's see if it does let me do a tower. Oh, maybe it's to do with the mode. Because you know how... Okay, I'll show you what I mean. So let's bring that out again. And... let's get a secondary. Who am I looking for again? Maybe Sansu, yeah. Okay, let's bring out siege. And let's change that. So this is where... So there's 2 things. Firstly, peaceful and aggressive. And I don't know whether you guys know that yet, but we'll talk about it just in case. And then this is the other new thing. So these are the 2 new things that we need to remember. Akaza, hey man, how are you going? So maybe you need this to do siege tower. Let's see if it lets me do siege tower with this. Range tactics, yeah, that's the one for siege tower. But then it kind of read like that's one of the situations where you get extra bonus. Okay, it does let me do the siege tower thing now. Now, there could be 2 reasons and we'll be able to check it out in like a sec. It could be because I'm using siege only now. Build. And let's get a second march out. And I don't think if I'm using anything else, other than siege, I don't think I can do like a tower. Okay, so I will get some siege and we'll get something else, and we'll get to come out in the siege tower mode as well. I mean, with the siege tower tactic benefit or whatever, however you want to call it. All right, now as a tower, can I hit this? Ooh, I can't. Can I? Is it gonna change or is it gonna hit as a arrow? Oh, it's gonna hit as an arrow. All right. Okay, I can do it. No, you must be leading a troop composed of siege and using specific combat tactics to. So it's both. You need siege and using specific combat tactics. So the thing just said we need both. Now, as you can see, it kind of does no damage. It's not a full march, but at the same time, it does no damage. So it's pretty useless. Now, how do I stop being like a tower? Walk back. So if I do that, cannot march. So you actually have to hit that icon and let it convert. And it does take a bit of time to change. Now come back. Okay, continuing with the experiments. So let's take the commander and then let's take siege only. So this time around I'm taking siege only, but I'm not taking the arrow tower tech. And then I come out. Will it let me still do the tower or not? And I want to see how big is the range. The range look pretty big, right? Wow. No, it's still not letting me do the tower. So unless you have the tower tech, the tower option doesn't come up. So basically, if you take 5 marches out, and then all of a sudden you decide that, you know what, I'm gonna, tower, it doesn't work. For your tower commanders, you have to be prepared when you're taking the march out so that you can play as a tower. So what I mean by that, just confirming, you got to take him. You got to take maybe like whichever AoE commander you find useful. I don't know, maybe like a siege commander. Maybe like a gathering commander who has siege bonus, or like a AoE. I don't know how much of a benefit that is, but we'll check out when the war is there. So let's say we take all siege. We need to take all siege. At the same time, we have to select this. So you gotta be prepared. Now, one of the things that you can do when you're saving your marches is you can go and save that somewhere, maybe like, far away that you don't ever use. So maybe yellow. And then what it does is it'll actually remember your stance. So the marches you want to use as an arrow tower, you can put them under that setting and it'll remember. It's not going to remember the peaceful and aggressive stance, but it'll remember your combat tactic. So we save that and let's try to bring that march out and let's see if it comes out properly. If it remembers, yep, see, it remembers. So we brought it out and we can be a tower now. Please say we can be a tower. Yes, we can. And that's where you can see the range. So it's a pretty decent range actually. So, yep, there you go. Now we got a 10-second build, and I think it's about 10 seconds to back to normal as well. Is it 10 seconds? No, 5 seconds to be back to normal. Okay, so I think it used to be, that time used to be longer. Now it's better. But anyways, let's talk about them and let's finish off that topic by saying that this is very useless. As long as you have commanders to take 5, 6, or 7 marches out, as long as you have troops and speed ups and resources, whatever, you're much better off fighting with your normal 5 marches. So the only scenario where the siege tower even makes sense is if you're using your farm account to create the siege towers. And then the other situation is if you ran out of troops, you ran out of resources, your hospital is full. Now, you still want to participate in the KvK, obviously, and that's fun. And that's when, with a full hospital, you bring out your siege tower, they destroy the siege tower, you get a little bit of kills, and then at the same time, you kill off your siege. That's the only situation I can think of. So basically, they're quite useless unless you're talking about a farm account. You can put support skills on them as well. But then, yeah. Now, let's talk about the combat tactics. So as you guys saw, every time you're bringing a march out, let's say this is going to be one of my main marches, and I can put, like, I haven't unlocked them yet, but when I can unlock, you know how you can save those skills? And then if you do this, then you're actually saving the support skills as well. So the good thing is the game remembers your support skills. So just like your support skills, it'll remember your combat tactic as well. So say, for example, this is an infantry march. This is a faster infantry march, but infantry by default is slow. So you can pick which one? I think this one increases march. So guerrilla tactics increases march speed. So I can select that, and then I can save it like this. So it'll remember that I'm using guerrilla tactics. Now, let's say, for example, my cav march, which is obviously faster, and I put the support skills, and then for the cav march, let's say I know we haven't talked about it yet, but we'll talk about it in a bit. But let's look at the saving thing. So we can choose melee tactics where it doesn't get extra march speed, rather it gets a bit more defense, and it does more damage to troops that uses guerrilla tactics. So what I can do is I can save that here. And then it's not like all your marches have to be at the same stance. So every time you're bringing it out, so my first one will go out with the green sort of arrow. I mean, not arrow, but the green icon, which highlights guerrilla tactics. And you see the purple one that highlights the other tactic. Now, I can see them for my troops. I saw that I can see that for my allies' troops. Now, I don't know whether I can see that for enemy troops yet. Now, how can we find out? Have we explored anything in the 1v area? Let's check if they have any marches out. So it can't be marches like gathering. It has to be marches just standing there. So is there anyone just... Oh, there's someone standing. No, that's a scout. So we need to find... Oh, there, we can see. So enemy marches, you can actually see what they're using as well. Now, why is that useful? I don't think that's practically useful, but theoretically, that being melee, let's check if one of our marches, if one of the tactics gives you an advantage with melee. Let's talk about them. So melee tactics, basically you get 5% attack, 10% defense. 10% defense is decent, deals 5% more damage as well to troops that you're using guerrilla tactics. So if I saw my enemy using guerrilla tactics, as in the icon in green, then maybe I can try to hit that. If I took all my marches as melee tactic, or more of my marches as melee tactic, then I'll try to hit the green ones more, right? Because I'm doing more damage. Again, that's theoretically, because in a battle, you kind of go for whatever's nearby, whatever you can hit. Especially with the blockade thing now, I don't know who can you even hit. But anyways, and it every time troop loses 5% of its unit, the defense increases by 2.5. So it has a stacking, up to 10 times stacking, increasing defense as you keep fighting. Now this one is the useless one, which is what you only use for arrow towers, nothing else. This one, if you're a rally leader, like there's no second choice. If you're a rally leader, you use this. If you're joining a rally, it doesn't make a difference. So you can join rallies with other stuff as well. But then it only works for the rally leader, and this is only for the garrison leader. Like, it doesn't even matter what else it says, because if you're a garrison leader, you must use this. So basically, we're talking about these two. Now, in terms of these two, this one, does it have a bonus damage against something? So the 30% march speed is good, troop attack is decent, defense, so it's kind of opposite. So with melee tactics, you had 5% attack and 10% defense, so that switched around. The extra bonus is you get 30% march speed. reduces damage taken from troops using range tactics. So if your enemy does a lot of arrow towers, then this is the one you go with. Firstly, because you're faster. Secondly, you do more damage to them. I think most of the time, I can't think of a scenario where, because the other attack bonus and whatever is quite similar, I assume most people should probably just go with the march speed. That makes more sense. But then again, if most people are using this, then by using this melee tactics, you do get bonus damage on them. So maybe like a mix of the two, maybe going for the infantry and archer marches with melee tactics, and then infantry going with gorilla. Maybe we'll try figuring it out when we're actually doing the fighting. Dan, hey Ladus, shout out to my wife, Tika, thanks. Tika, you got a lovely husband in Dan. He's thinking about you even when he's playing games. So give him a easy time when he's playing games because he's still thinking about you. How about that, Dan? All right, so I think in terms of the tactics, I'm gonna use this, the green one, gorilla, just on infantry, and everything else I may go with melee. No, actually, cav I'll go with melee. Only cav I'll go with melee, and archer and infantry I'm gonna go with this one, gorilla tactics. Dan, that was amazing. Thanks, mate. You're welcome. And I'm not gonna worry about this one, rally tactics, and I'm not gonna worry about this one, garrison tactics as well, because I'm not a rally or garrison leader. I'm definitely not doing arrow towers, so only two options we're gonna worry about is melee and gorilla. Gorilla for infantry and archers, and melee for cav. That's the plan, and we'll see how that kind of goes. Okay, now what about the stand stuff? So let's talk about the stance stuff. Now, remember, the system doesn't remember your stance, like as in whether you're picking aggressive or defensive or peaceful, I mean, it doesn't remember. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, let's say this is one of my marches. Let's say I'm selecting aggressive and I'm changing it to the green one, gorilla, and I'm trying to save it, yeah? Okay, let's save. Saved. March. Actually, I didn't need to march. So basically, I went out of that screen, and let's see if it remembers that it was meant to be aggressive. No, it doesn't. So aggressive and peaceful, you have to click every time. If you don't click anything, it's gonna pick peaceful. Now, is peaceful a good option? So what's the difference between peaceful and aggressive? So the easiest way to explain is, and this is my understanding, I could be wrong, we'll figure out when it is. So if I'm coming out in peaceful, I think, let's say if I'm standing here and enemy wants to walk through this, if I'm on peaceful, I'm just gonna stand there and enemy has to hit me. I'll do counter attack damages and I'll hit them back if they're hitting me, but then I'm not gonna go out of my way and hit them. But then if I'm on aggressive, I think that means that if an enemy troop is walking this way, I'm gonna go and hit them proactively. Is that what it means? You know how we will find out? Let's see the text when we are taking marches out. Let's see what the text actually says. While marching, friendly troops can pass freely, but non-friendly troops will not be able to pass when blockaded. So blockading is just basically standing there. When two opposing troops are blockading, different effects will occur depending on your blockade mode. If you have chosen peaceful mode, your troops will stand their ground and only move once their march route is clear. If you have chosen aggressive mode, your troops will launch an attack on the blockading army. Unless they're... I think I need to explain that again. So the modes are to do with this. So let's say this is an enemy, this is an enemy. If I am in peaceful mode, if I came out in peaceful mode, I think if I try to go past them, my march is just gonna stand there. It's not gonna fight. But if I take it out in aggressive mode and I'm trying to go through them, then my march is gonna auto hit them. I think that's what it means. Yeah, actually that's how the text reads. And I think from memory, last time when we read that, that's what it said as well. Okay, now, was there anything else technically there that we need to talk about the new KvK? Anything we missed, guys, or you want us to have a look? Winzel, hey Ladus. This looks like a fun KvK, even though it's hard to make balanced teams since 3 versus 1 against 1556 would be too much as well, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of true. So there's like 2 reasons, I think, why we didn't end up going with 3 versus 1. The first one being, I think we have an existing alliance with 1148 and we kind of wanted to go in the same KvK and be allies, I think. And the second thing is, I mean, we want to take OL quite seriously as well. So a 3 versus 1, especially after the extremely difficult KvK with 1254, I don't think it would have been suited. So what we are hoping for or looking forward to is 1v coming out, win or lose entirety. We have a great fight with 1v, and then after that both 1v can focus on you know, their OL and we can focus on our OL. So whoever probably wins Tahiti wins the KvK. So KvK is going to be wrapped up within within week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. So KvK probably is going to be wrapped up in 2 weeks rather than, I think, the 50 days it says it's going to be going on for. And that's a good thing because we want to take OL seriously as well. And on the right hand side, we're going to have a separate 1v1. So we'll have okay, so I didn't kind of unfog it yet, but look at the minimap. So 1148 and 2302 is going to have a separate fight with 1860 and allies on the right hand side, I think. Hookah, rank, ally and power. Nen M, allies. So it's top versus bottom Nen M. So we did go through the ranking already made, but we're just going to quickly look at the alliance power and alliance skills. So 1v, the biggest alliance there, still 20 billion power, and then you got couple of 1556 alliances. Obviously just the 2 alliances, I mean the 1556 has 6 fighting alliance, but the top 2 takes over 1v's power. So definitely 1556 is a bigger KD, but then at the same time 1v is not alone. 1v has an ally in 2386, so which is these guys over here, CPLW. So this is how, and 1860 is a bit depleted, and their best alliance is 12 billion at the moment. And this is how the alliance power kind of looks like up to top 20. And now we're going to have a look at in alliance kills. 1v very dominant there, almost, what's that, what, almost 915 billion, am I saying that right? 914 billion at the moment kills for 1v, followed by PC56 and Geo56, DN56, TN56. So quite a lot of 1556 comes in here, and it's the first one is still 1v though, and then rest of the alliances. All right, so that's how the KvK looks like. I think we talked about the KvK. So guys, again, just checking in terms of the mechanics and all that, was there anything that we wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about? So we talked about the crystal tech, how we plan to go about it. We talked about the spending behind the crystal tech as well. We talked about the combat tactics, and we talked about the blockade modes. We talked about the new commanders that we get out of it. We looked at the rewards that we can get. So I think that's pretty much all there was to talk about. The one thing that I think we didn't talk about, or actually I haven't seen, is the new Heart's Desire. So you know how at the moment we do have a way to spend our or open our sovereign keys. Where is it? No. Well, I forgot where to open sovereign keys. Actually, there's a way to open it in the city, right? So let's go back to the city. So in your tavern, you can use your open legendary keys using your sovereign keys. Now I have 200, so I can open 200 and get a commander unlocked, but there's no commanders there. Oh, not that here. So, but then there's no commanders here that I want to unlock. I guess I have all of them unlocked. So rather than using my keys here, I actually wanted to use them in Heart's Desire. Now, I think Lilith mentioned when you land in KvK, you are going to get Heart's Desire. So it's probably going to come in a few days. I don't have it yet. When that comes, we'll check it out. How many fighting alliances in your kingdom? So Nenem, we got 5. We got 6 fighting alliances. However, I think we have enough people to fit in 5 rather than 6. Because you know how even if you win a KvK, the maximum number of maximum number of alliances you can have in a coalition is 6. So I think the plan was to have 6 alliances, but then you can fit most of the fighters surely in 5, even out of 6, because you're gonna get all the extra flags and everything. So coalition member number will increase from 150 to 175 or something like that. So in a way, within 5 alliances, we're going with 6 now, but within 5 alliances, we'll be able to fit all the fighters. So yeah, so guys, that's pretty much all we wanted to talk about today. And I'm going to, for the rest of the night, I'm going to keep doing my crystal tech. And in few days time, when I am when I know a little bit about the prerequisites, so I already went through how we plan to progress, but as I figured out more about what's the prerequisite for what, in the next few days we'll probably stream again, and then we'll cover that in that stream. Aside from that, every Sunday, last Sunday we did 3 streams of live matches from the Osiris League qualifiers, and we're gonna try to do the same this Sunday as well. We are going to, rather than competitive matches, guys, we're going to look at the bigger teams. So just like last week, we looked at the JST strategies. So we wanted to see how well prepared JST is and what are the strategies they're using. And we're going to try to do the same with maybe OneV or OV or 1254, like one of the bigger teams this Sunday as well. So if you're free on Sunday, if you're serious about Osiris League, then definitely drop by and we'll have coverage. Now, speaking of Ark, there's one other thing that's happening, which is the anniversary Grand Prix. Now, on this, I know that I'm registered. I don't even know where the matches are or anything, like how it kind of works. So I think there's 4 invited teams, and I think we can actually let me see if I can bring it on the screen. How do I bring it on the screen? Okay, let me do this. Window, screen capture. All right, so we have it on the screen now. So this is the other big Ark thing that's happening. And there's a lot of information. So how we got to that is from the in-game thing. You can click on it. On the right hand side, you can see that you can create your own team or you can join a team. So I joined the VC56. These are the 4 teams, I think previous champions or somehow famous teams. All of them look pretty big. I wish 1365 was there, but either way, you got pretty big teams there, 4 of them. On top of that, I think they will allow more teams to kind of join in. Now, I don't see our team here, do we? No, because I don't think our team is full. So this ranking refreshes every 4 hours, and basically the biggest teams can join. Now, I think there's a possibility that you don't have to be from the same kingdom. I think you can like make a team and players from other kingdoms can probably join as well. I don't know. And then when I joined, I got the verification ID code and whatever, and then I joined the link that VC56 sent me, I guess. Now I can't get rid of this. Go. No, it doesn't. Okay. All right, we're just gonna close this. We don't care about it. Okay, and we don't need to see that. We can go back to the game now. Okay. So, yeah. So if we can watch this somehow, then I'll stream this as well. I don't know whether we can watch this. There's some pretty decent gifts out of this, so you know we'll play it seriously. But main thing, streaming wise, what we want to cover is Osiris League. So this Sunday we'll pick 5 matches from whichever time zone. Actually, let's see what's there to watch. Recommended. So we'll pick a time from 9 UTC, we'll pick a time from 13 UTC, and if possible, we'll pick a time from 3 UTC as well. We're not going to cover the 15 UTC because 15 UTC is when I'll have my match. So maybe 1 at 3 and then 1 at 9 and 1 at 13. So if you guys have any specific matches that you'd like to cover, then join our Discord. Link should be in the description, and then we can consider covering those matches. But otherwise, I'm just gonna pick 3 that makes sense to me, and then yeah, I'll see you guys on Sunday. Unless I have any major updates on Crystal Tech by Sunday, then we may end up streaming on Friday as well. We'll see, but at least on Sunday. So I hope to see you guys on Sunday. Thank you for being here today, and I will probably call it a day now. As I was going to say, we call it a day. We got a new subscriber who came in with the new animation. Hope you guys like that new subscriber animation. Domovo has subscribed. Domovo21. Hey man, thank you for your sub. Sipok, who good for Swarm? Martel Herald or Pakal Herald? Good for Swarm. Pakal Herald is probably better. So if you're talking about if you get Swarm who gives you better results, I would probably say Pakal Herald. All right, guys. So bye for now, and I will see you all on Sunday, if not earlier. Welcome, Domovu21. Where is M, bro? Parties. Hey, man. M's kind of over Rise of Kingdoms a little bit. So M plays other games now. So I'm trying to bring her back. She's 8 and she loses attention very quickly, so that's where you know, she's she's not kind of following up. She does do KvK fighting because I force her to, but in terms of, you know, streams and all that, she's not, you know, that interested at the moment. But hopefully her interest come back and then I can include her. Philip, hello. Philip, you came too late, man. I said goodbye 3 times already. You big fish, bro. Domovo, no man, not a big fish. I'm like a medium fish in terms of all the players that we have in 1556. Maybe not a small fish, but a medium fish. Definitely not big. Because you know who is big? Big is Baba Ataturk. You know what he did? You know what he did? This morning when I logged in, there were 5 Alliance blue crystal chests there. Because Baba and Fo, both of them cleared out the whole shop. Like I collected them already. But then that's one of the things that, you know, happens in this kingdom. So compared to them, no big fish at all. Baba top 3? Yeah. All right. So guys, 4th time saying goodbye. Maverick, Famer, Baba. Yeah, Baba is definitely top 3. Spending wise, could be even top 1. I don't know. Because he buys everything. Like when I say clear out the shop, so I'll show you what I mean. He even buys this stuff. City of Hope. So obviously he doesn't need anything out of City of Hope, but he still buys it. And I think it's to do with the gems. So Living Legend, City of Hope, everything. He even bought this out today, Fountain of Wisdom. I don't think he bought this. Bumper Husband, not husband. Bumper Harvest, I haven't seen him buy. But other than, and I actually didn't see him buy New World. So other than these two, he bought out everything today. And I think Fo did something similar. Fo didn't buy City of Hope, but he bought out everything else as well. So when I'm surrounded by those type of people, I'm like nobody. Sipo, can you look equipment infantry, bro? Buy gold chest. The last time I bought a gold chest, actually since coming to 1556, I think I bought 5 in total. 5 or 6 maybe in total gold chests, and I've been here for like a month, so that's how you know it's not a lot. All right, Sipok, man, infantry equipment. All right, I'll show you the infantry equipment, then we can. So my best infantry equipment, which is not impressive at all, is on Guan. So this is infantry equipment. I don't have a single proc. This is what I have on my Guan. Show speed ups. Okay, I can show you my speed ups. I got nothing much on speed ups either. Where is speed ups? So as you can see, not a lot of training speed ups. Definitely nowhere near where you want to be if you want to push for Zenith. I only pushed for Zenith once. I don't think I can ever push. Healing, I got literally nothing. So I'm gonna be using Universal for healing. Good for free to play. Yeah, what I have is more free to play level than actually spender level. This is why I kind of try to say that I'm nobody. All right, guys. For the 5th time, let me say goodbye. So not that I mind staying here and chatting, but then I kind of feel guilty when I have gone through everything that we wanted to go through, and in the background I got nothing happening. So what we can do is, when we're watching KvK, fighting in KvK, where there's always action in the background, those streams we can stretch out as long as these people want to talk, because we're going to be fighting for hours, and no point fighting alone. We can keep that on stream and have conversations. But now that I got nothing going on in the background, I don't know whether I should, like, you know, make it any longer. Domavu, goodbye or goodbye? Hey, you know, good call. Goodbye. So this is the BYE buy now, but then in terms of goodbye, you know what's a goodbye? Buying whatever you can during the day the first 11 days of landing in KvK, because you get the extra bonus. All the crystal stuff that you buy kind of contributes towards it, so that's a good buy. And whenever there's recharge reward, obviously buy that, because you get all those gold heads, so that's definitely worth it as well. Show top kills, top power alliance. All right, last time, for the last time, this is the 3rd time we're doing this. Alliance power, this is the top. Looks like leading alliance is OneV in terms of power, followed by quite a few 1556. Alliance kills looks the same, 1V leading with quite a few 1556 following. All right, that is it. Okay, seriously now, bye for today, guys. We will see you all on Sunday again. If not on Friday, Sunday for sure. All right, bye for now, guys. Have a good day.